Welcome to the Living Alon podcast, where we help you reclaim your confidence and energy through taking control of your wellness. I'm Paige Hope.
And I'm Tracy Vallejos. Join us for quick chats on wellness, personal growth, hormone regulation, and more. Welcome to another episode of Living Alon. And once again, we have the incredible Paige Hope here with us. And I'm so excited that we're in person today because we're going to be talking about swaps to heal your hormones, because people ask us this all the time. Like, what do we do? So easy peasy swaps. And hey, this isn't going to be a whole list, but
This is just what you can start with.
yes, like this is one we get asked. And I thought, oh my goodness, here we are again. When I think about spring and we're starting to like declutter and do these things, these are going to be some pretty easy ones. And Paige, if you don't mind, I'm going to just jump right in and get us kicked off because, and it probably is top of mind with me because I'm literally working with somebody that she lives in Maine right now, and we started talking. And I don't think she was prepared for this, but I said, do you have a lot of candles in your home? And do you have a lot of plugins?
Oh, the Febreze plugins.
Right? And she was like, well, yeah. And I said, I'm not kidding. If you're going to heal your hormones, and I think she was ready for me to start somewhere else, of course, like take some pill or do something else. I said, those candles and those plugins are definitely messing with your hormones. And I said, candles, one, you're burning petroleum, most of them, the paraffin, right? So now you're breathing that in, the toxic wicks, the scent, perfume, those plugins, we do not I wish like you could see the scent in the air. And I wish then you could just imagine you're just breathing or just whatever. And we're taking it in and it is toxic overload on our body.
Yeah.
And so there are definitely like toxin-free type candles out there where you're going to get the coconut oil. I mean, yes, the coconut oil, even soy oil is so much better than the paraben, the organic cotton wicks, the scents, a lot of them now that are non-toxic are the essential oils. I even said like, take the plugins out. They now have plugins where you literally put your essential oil in the top of it, right? Because it's warming up and you're using that. I'm not kidding. I start there because I have made the biggest impact in my life, my son's life. I don't care. Remember, hormones are male and female, but in the lives of so many women. So I'm going to say one of the number one swaps in your home, get the plugins and toxic candles out. We'll put something, believe me, in the show notes but we'll keep going. Everything we're going to give you a swap for. So I do want you to understand that in the show notes.
And where to look for it. Like, let's just be real. If you're going to Bath & Body Works for anything.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I'm looking. I know, because I was the Bath & Body Work girl.
Yes.
All the plugins, all the candles, and the body lotion.
Yes.
Okay, don't get me started. No, we're going to give you exact links. We're going to give you exact brands.
I'm going to say the next thing is perfume and cologne. Because again, the word fragrance, it's going to have thousands of chemicals hidden behind that. And then it's also going to have endocrine disruptors packed in. The transparency is very limited within that. I know we all want to smell good. Like everyone talks about confidence also being like, you have your signature scent and all of this stuff. The beauty of living in 2025 and beyond is that we have amazing founders out there that are trying to change the industry and the game, and they're trying to make it hormone safe. And so there's tons of brands out there that are better for you. You have, I'll just name a few: Henry Rose, Dime. We have, there's actually a lot now. I'm actually having really a lot of fun right now. A lot of these perfume brands have sample packs, and I am actually in the process of sampling all of them so that I can then tell people what my favorite is.
I know. I love it. But thank you, Paige, for saying that. Like it goes right in with the candles and everything because it's so hard. And I just want to say this. Like I even had a gentleman that I was working with in New York, and he said, well, what if I just sprayed it on my shirt? And I thought can I just spray it on my sweater? Because we've all pulled the sweater back out, right? Yeah. We've hung it back up or something. We can smell it. And I'm like, no, it literally is seeping in. But guess what? To your point, we just said, Paige, there's so many. We can't wait to share with you. It's the easiest swap. It will make a bit difference in healing your hormones.
It will. And I do want to say, just because it says clean at Sephora does not mean it's actually non-toxic. So that's another thing we'll just keep educating on.
Yep. And again, we're going to put it in the show notes. We're going to have a great sheet for you because we've worked so hard on this. We want to share. And I think the next one, and it was probably what I did first because I didn't know better, deodorant. Okay. I say it all the time. We shave, especially as women, our arms, all right? Now, you can imagine you've opened up those pores. You're getting out of the shower and you're putting on toxins. There's so much, let alone the parabens, the fragrance, like everything in a deodorant. It is literally being absorbed into your skin, literally straight into your bloodstream. And I know people know this, but it is causing havoc, not only towards breast cancer and things like that people think about, but your hormone health, another one. We'll make sure, Paige, thank you. You shared another really good one with me, probably about a month or so ago.
I'm using a crystal right now.
Yes.
Where you just run it underwater.
Yeah.
And I had a friend, she was like, you look like you're doing some hippy dippy shiz over there.
I know.
So
well, right. Hey, our last episode was about some of the weird things we do. Well, we sure in the heck didn't go through all of them. But guess what? They work.
Yep.
They work.
They do work.
So I'm going to go with deodorant. Seriously, if you're wanting to heal your hormones, please. Not saying this can be a full list, but these are really ones that are going to make some big impact.
I do love that. Now I'm going to say laundry detergent. Okay. Laundry detergent is huge. The only bummer about laundry detergent is it's not as commonly, I would say, advertised as so many of these other things. And a lot of these other beauty products and lotions and, all the things like that are now in stores that you can get. And it's a lot more accessible. Whereas laundry detergent right now, the non-toxic ones are not quite in stores, at least near us. So you do have to just, mind you, have to shop on Amazon for this. But there's a few non-toxic ones that we love, like Mary Suds, Truly Free, just to name a couple. Now, I will say, give a little hack on this, because it's not your, like your regular laundry detergent that's filled with chemicals and fragrance. So it literally, when you take it out, you smell it, right? And honestly, I used to love how good, clean smelling it smelled, right?
So did I, girl.
So I will give you this hack if you're starting to transition your laundry detergent. We put in a little bit of peppermint essential oil and tea tree oil with the liquid, and I swear it helps. Now, the other thing to note here is I feel like literally you have to get it out of the washer immediately. So if you're one of those people that lets it sit in there a little bit, it can start to smell a little bit moldy. Just take it out immediately. But it's because it's fully non-toxic. Yeah. So go towards that. Now, we'll tell you this, especially your privates. When you're putting those toxic chemicals on your panties, on things like that, it's literally sitting on your privates.
Oh, and it's being absorbed. It's very delicate skin. It is thin skin, okay? So I say to everyone, so many young girls today are having so many hormone issues that are affecting, of course, their menstrual cycles, fertility. There's so many things. And it's because, again, and I'm going to share this in just a little bit, but because of that, it's being absorbed right. And it is very sensitive, absorbable skin there. So thank you for sharing that.
Not to mention the allergies. So many people have allergies to it. And it could be potentially causing your acne and all of these things because of all of the garbage in them.
Right. My son, eczema and that. Yeah. It's crazy. They wanted to put him on all kinds of different things. Guess what I did? I took gluten and dairy out. Not going to get into this. And I changed our detergent. Bam. Okay?
Yep.
But if he changes any of those things, it comes back. But that's not what this is about. I know this is going to sound like a weird one, but it's one that I've had to share with so many clients. All right. Are you ready? Oats. So many women love to be able to have oats in the morning. Everything's overnight oats and oats. A couple things with oats, okay? First of all, they're highly sprayed in pesticides. And people don't realize, you're literally gobbling it up. I tell everybody, that alone is huge. And because oats is in so many different things that it's amazing that when I've taken that out, and oats spike your insulin so easily, which then affects your hormones. So that's why I thought I'm going to throw in one that people are like, what? That would help me heal my hormones? So I tell everybody, if you love oats and you want to make your oats in the morning or do whatever, because again, I want you to be able to put these in place, I would get hemp seeds, organic hemp. And I would soak them just like overnight oats. I would put it on in my, personally, I'm dairy free. I'd put it on my yogurt, But making that switch of getting those toxins out, but also controlling your blood sugar, which is really a whole other, episode, has made a big difference in women and healing their hormones.
I do like that one. And if you do really want oats, like we're not here to say completely.
Oh, no.
Just make sure they're organic. And I've said this on an episode before, because you don't want the glyphosate on those.
There's so much.
Just definitely go the organic route. And then as she mentioned with the blood sugar spike, just make sure you have protein with it and level that out. So
yeah.
Because I do, there are things where I'll definitely put organic oats in some of my desserts. Because it's like the good, better, best.
Absolutely.
But definitely opt for organic.
Yes.
If you're going to do that.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. If we're in the food path right now.
Okay.
I'm going to go with energy drinks, everybody. I used to be a massive energy drinker. Yeah. I would get that sugar-free Monster, sugar-free, Bang, sugar-free, all of that.
Yeah, girl.
Now, not only does that it actually does have cancer-causing ingredients in them, which is crazy, but it has all of those horrible for you sugars, fake sugars, right? Mm-hmm. That end up not making you feel that great. So I'm going to give you guys a couple different alternatives because I'm a drink girl. Tracy's not, and I cannot figure out why. She only drinks water, and I'm like, how do you only do that? So for us normal people, here's a couple options. I love if you need a carbonated drink and you're like, maybe it's not even the energy you want, Spindrift. Put it in a fun little cute glass with some ice, make it into a fun little mocktail, if you will. Our family does a lot of mocktails, which is super fun. Yeah. And then if you want the energy piece, we can go down a rabbit hole of caffeine, but this episode, we're going to live in the good, better, best categories, things like that. Georgie is a better energy drink found at Sprouts. I think you can get it on Amazon as well, but in case you need a little bit of that. Now, I will also say alternatively, there's also pre-workouts that I do recommend. Again, if it's more of an energy thing, I like Just Ingredients because it's real sugar. So she's taking the Carolyn Call founder. She is taking actual sugar from fruits, and it's still really limited sugar. I think the one I have is 2 grams.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any of the hormone disrupting ingredients. No. So there's some options out there for you guys.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought that up because so many women go, but Tracy, what am I going to do? I'm so used to stopping by and I'm used to doing this and grabbing this. And speaking of that, let's go with coffee. Because when you said that, I'm like, okay, well, do you mind if I just...
Yeah.
Because so many times we think we're getting good coffee. Well, I'm getting the sugar-free one, Tracy. We're getting the one with the almond milk or whatever. And really, I'm going, oh, if you would just see all the sweeteners and the almond milk and different things that you're going with. But I do want to get back to coffee. Because this was huge, and I had to go down a rabbit hole maybe 4 or 5 years ago because somebody was very close to me in my life was drinking a lot of coffee but having problems. One, again, we didn't realize how toxic the coffee beans are being sprayed. Now they're being ground up and the way that they're being handled, and we're just taking it all in.
Well, can I add one thing to that? Do you guys know that we don't have very high standards for coffee in the U.S.? So what other countries will do is they'll sell us their moldy coffee because they won't give it to their people because they've got standards over there. And so we will be getting their moldy coffee.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that the quality of coffee that you guys are purchasing also is reputable because you don't need mold coming inside of your body.
No, not whatsoever. So what I'm saying is there are definitely benefits because, a lot of people, now, Tracy, there's benefits. I'm like, oh, yeah, when you get good, clean coffee, there are benefits. And so what I'm going to share with you a couple things is I had him switch over. We would buy whole bean coffee, good coffee that wasn't sprayed, and inexpensive. We would ground coffee because you're thinking, are you serious right now? Because he was using the K-cup, okay? So not only with the bad coffee in it, now he's heating up the plastic, and now he's drinking the plastics. And I just was doing a whole research study about a week ago. We're not going to go down the plastic route, but that on average, most people are taking in a credit card size amount of plastics every day. That's not good for us, okay? So he was an engineer. That's what I'm going to say, very much so down the rabbit hole. So he did his research and he was like, oh my goodness, Tracy, bought the inexpensive ground coffee. He got the metal that looked like the K-cup, literally ground it. That took 30 seconds, poured it into that, still did the coffee. And I will tell you, he bought it for his parents, his uncle, his aunt. He did the research. And I will say, you don't have to sacrifice. Get the actual benefits of coffee. It will make a huge impact on your hormones. Okay?
I love it.
Do it. So
I love
I'm sorry.
that, Tracy.
I just want it, like, if we were to go down the rabbit hole of drinks, let's go down the rabbit hole of coffee because it will make an impact on your
Oh,
hormones.
yes. Oh, yes. Okay, well, I'm going to do one that so many people think they're being so healthy with drinking their protein, whether it's liquid protein or powdered protein. And not only do these brands not source great, there's a lot of bad stuff in there. I won't go down that right now. However, there are amazing options out there. And here's what to look for. So my biggest thing on this is you don't need a bunch of fillers. You know the fillers are typically the words you can't pronounce. So if they've got fillers, you just don't need it. The artificial sweeteners, you don't need those. Now, I will say the brands that I typically use, they're going to sweeten it with either like real fruit, monk fruit, or stevia, and making sure it's all, cleanly sourced, etc.
Yeah.
So you want to look for that. Good brands, just ingredients. I know Tracy has a code. I personally actually use that every day. Mint chocolate or the coconut chocolate. I actually had that this morning because we were in a little bit of a time crunch. Now, I will say on the protein piece, protein is just so important.
Thank you.
However, you don't need to always be supplementing with a protein drink.
No.
It's more of like my emergency. So I call it like you've got your emergency food. That's like when we're in a crunch, you need to be eating, right? And I'm like, oh gosh, I need to hurry and do this. That's typically when I have that. But her protein is really amazing because you can make little hot chocolate with the mint chocolate one and like you can have fun with it. But that is what I would say. Take a look at your protein powders.
Yes.
And just swap that out. Well, that's an easy swap.
Well, what you do really well, and because you said protein, you just prioritize protein. Talk about healing your hormones. Right? I mean, our hormones like insulin resistant. We eat so many things that are spiking it, right? That is affecting hormones. And when you prioritize clean, good protein, it starts to heal your your hormones. And you're taking everything that we just talked about out. And
it's actually a problem because I monitor other people's protein.
Yes.
Like even when I'm with Tracy, I'm like, Tracy, you need to eat more protein. Because I've been monitoring protein intake for so long that I can be like, like my mom, I'll be like, you need more protein today.
Yes. It's true.
I can just count it in my head.
And that is huge. So again, these are easy swaps for you. And like one swap at a time is what I'm saying. Like we'll just do a couple more here because I wanted to do at least to give you 10 things to, to think about and swap out. But I am going to talk about the next one just because we mentioned it a little bit ago. And as women, those feminine products, your tampons, your panty liners, your pads, there's so much science out there, right? How they are washed in that chlorine, what's in it, the chemicals that's being sprayed. There's so much. Now we're either a tampon we're inserting. One time I said, oh, well, I've, started my menstrual cycle at 11 years old. And well, it started for 5 days. And well, if I wore how many tampons per day, and I said all of this, and it was like thousands of feminine products I'd used. I said, and all that is filled with chemicals, and I've absorbed all of that. And we wonder why that we're having these problems. Well, I personally got so passionate about this. Now I'm older in life and it's definitely slowed down. I haven't gone through the change of life yet, but I will tell you, working with mothers then, and then working with their daughters, upgrading those toxic products to something clean, the cramps, how heavy the cycles were, they couldn't believe it. I will forever shout to the rooftops, especially for young women and older women. It doesn't matter. But that's one, help yourself out with your hormones, get those things out, make an upgrade, and we'll make sure we can link.
And the nice thing is in stores, there's actually there's more options out there now, which is really awesome to see. Like I will say, investing in your health is going to be a couple dollars extra, right? Like it's definitely an adjustment with your brain as well. But you have to remember, you're investing in yourself, in your wellness, in your well-being.
Yeah. And
just start to change your mindset a little bit about that, right? Like, hey, if you save a couple bucks, you might not save a couple bucks later. That's just kind of what we're trying to help, get across here.
You know what one of the moms said? Now, I'm not saying Motrin is good because it's not. She said, now I'm not buying my daughter a whole bottle of Motrin to go with because, to your point, I paid a couple more bucks.
Yeah.
And now I'm not spending it over there because
Yeah.
she's so sick and in pain.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. I just thought about
is-
that.
no,
She
it is
literally said
crazy.
that to me.
It is
and I was
crazy.
like, oh, gosh.
I wish that the tampon helped my cramps when I was. It is crazy. If you've got bad cramps, we'd actually love to hear from you. We are like doing a lot of investigation on cramps and things like that because stand by on that, everybody. Because cramps are one of the biggest symptoms that I had, and I actually still suffer with to this day.
Yeah.
Not as bad, I will say, but
Yeah.
we're going to go down a lot of fun rabbit holes on cramps here soon. Okay. I'm going to say the last one is lotion because and I'm going to bucket this with body wash as well. Anything you're lathering on your whole entire body. And there are so many good brands out there that are at stores and it's so nice and accessible. I just love shouting out brands that are trying to make a difference. Like seriously, A Cure is super cheap. I personally use that one and it's awesome. So it's not going to smell like your Victoria's Secret or your Bath and Body Works. Like, let me just preface that now. And if it does smell like that, then it's a really big indicator that you shouldn't be wearing it. So that's a really quick one to just swap out. When you get out of the shower, you want to lather your skin with something good and not something that has a bunch of endocrine disruptors in it that are not hormone safe, essentially.
That's right. That's right. Well, I am just going to preface the end with that one is, Paige, I just want to thank you because not only was I so particular about what I was putting on my skin when I was healing my hormones and healing my thyroid, but for me to be able to put on a non-toxic self-tanner. Like, if she's not going to say it, I am right now. I'm so sorry.
I always blush.
I know. But to be able to, because like you said, your skin's your largest organ. It's literally absorbing everything. And for me, because I was a tanner for like, I think 22 years, every single week for 22 years, not just sometimes. I like to say to people, no, we're talking every week for 22 years.
Yeah, we're naturally pasty ladies, everybody.
And I just felt more energy. I just felt more confident. It was the, career that I had. And I always felt like I needed to have it. And it does. And I love it. But what you put on your skin. So Paige, thank you for coming out with a non-toxic self-tanner that is moisturizing, right? It's not only non-toxic and good for your hormones, but it also is moisturizing and feels so good. And let me just say this. We have a Lucky Girl promotion this month.
Yes,
I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in.
Yes, we do. And we're almost sold out.
Yes.
Of our exfoliator mitts.
Well, I know. So this month, when you purchase, I'm going to say the Alam Pure Lucky Girl, right? Self-tanner, you get the free exfoliating mitt. So you don't have to exfoliate with all those toxins. So many scrubs I'd put on my body, speaking of that before, that were full of toxins that smelled. I now have the exfoliating mitt that truly exfoliates my skin, non-toxic. You get that absolutely free. And guess what? You get the incredible product as well. So thank you, Paige. All right.
That was a good ending.
Well, make sure that you check out. We're going to put this little non-toxic guide swap together for you because we know that you could just be listening and we want to be able to shout out the brands who are doing well and we appreciate it. So again, we'd love to hear what is something that also a brand with you and a swap that you like. And until next time, here's to your energetic, confident self.